You been wild
I'll
since
fuck you
been
hard,
here, bro. Pause.
Fuck you hard. Real hard.
I just can't wait to beat him and shut him up,
Fuck you till
bro.
you
T.O.
love
not
me.
on this level. T.O. is a high-level fighter, but he's not on my level.
Come here and tell me that if I fuck you in your ass, you punk white boy, you faggot. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. Fuck you, you hoe. Come and say in my face, fuck you, ass for everybody.
Was Teofimo Lopez trying to give us hints right now? Trying to come out the closet with Shakur Stevenson live at the first press conference? Or are we going to be getting Teofimo Tyson leading up to the January 31st showdown for the Junior Welterweight WBO Ring Magazine titles live at the Madison Square Garden Arena? You guys, we just had our first press conference, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, all right? First off, this wasn't exactly what you expected. Teofimo Lopez, for the most part, was, not being involved in the main arguments, was pretty much being fruity the whole time. I don't know what the hell he was doing with all these, ball comments and all this and that. But it was Teofimo Lopez Sr. who was actually running this goddamn press conference, getting into arguments with Shakur Stevenson on behalf of Teofimo Lopez's back. All right? Now, speaking of Teofimo Lopez and the way that he was acting fruity and all this and that, I wouldn't, take that very lightly. I wouldn't look at it and say to myself, oh, Teofimo Lopez doesn't look focused. He's treating this like a joke. We know Teofimo Lopez plays this type of games. He's an entertainer. We know at the end of the day, he's going to come in 100% ready and focused, and he ain't taking this lightly. But that's the type of perception that Teofimo Lopez was trying to put out. You can see the difference in immaturity when it comes to both teams. You see Shakur Stevenson being for reals, being 100, trying to be a G right there with his team. You see Teofimo Lopez being fruity. Teofimo Lopez Sr. bringing up a lot of things, my friends, backing up his son and saying, I don't understand what the deal is. Why you got Shakur Stevenson ranked number 8 or top 10 in the pound for pound rankings when my son isn't even ranked?
Who did you lose
My son
to?
got 2 lineal belts, man.
Who did you
He ain't
lose
in the
to?
pound for pound list, man.
Yo,
this is
senior,
bullshit.
Senior, who did you lose
This
to?
is bullshit.
Who did you lose to?
You've been babied
You was
all
in
your
the corner
freaking
that
life.
night.
He's arguing the fact that Teofimo Lopez is a 2-time ring champion when Shakur Stevenson was only a 1-time ring champion. He's arguing the fact that Teofimo Lopez's resume stands out and has fought way superior fighters than what Shakur Stevenson has fought.
Something that he said earlier, he said, T.O. never lost to Southpaw. Well, I never lost to Orthodox. So, it ain't no different, but...
The difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
There's absolute supreme confidence coming from the T.O. camp. You can see it in the dad saying and explaining that Josh Taylor and Vasily Lomachenko were way better fighters and way tougher fights than Shakur Stevenson, right? Teofimo Lopez Sr. saying that he already has the blueprint and the game plan and has studied Shakur Stevenson and sees the weaknesses and is going to take him out.
Well, I see their weakness. That's what I do. We broke the code with with Loma that nobody had ever done. We didn't let him get comfortable in there. You saw that, with like 8 rounds, he didn't know what to do. I did the same thing with Josh Taylor, and we're going to do the same thing with Shakur.
The whole time, it was Teofimo Lopez Sr. hashing it out. And I'm going to tell you guys like this. I absolutely love it, my friends. The addition of a father being there. It didn't matter if it was going to be on Shakur Stevenson's side, if it's on Teofimo's side. The fact that he's there makes this whole thing that much more exciting, all right? Now, the argument is there to be made, who deserves to be on this pound-for-pound rankings? Who has fought the better fighters? When you look at Teofimo's career, he's a 2-division world champion, right? He beat Richard Comey, knocked him out in the second round to become the IBF world champion, unified it with Vasily Lomachenko, who at the time was the WBC full, WBA, and WBO champion, right? So technically, Teofimo Lopez should have been fighting for undisputed, but we all know what happened with the WBC deciding to create a new title and made Vasily Lomachenko the WBC franchise champion during the time when he had the belt and elevated Devin the Dream Haney to full WBC champion. Therefore, when Teofimo Lopez fought Vasily Lomachenko, it was no longer for the undisputed world titles. But one thing that does matter is that the Ring Magazine title was on the line, all right? Teofimo Lopez beats Vasily Lomachenko, wins all the titles, becomes Ring Magazine champion, and in his next fight, loses him to George Kambosos, right? Came into the fight with air in his chest. We all know how that went down. Took about 9 months off, and then made his debut against Pedro Campa in the junior welterweight division. Right after that fight, he fights against Josh Taylor, who at the time was the WBO champion, but before that was actually the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, right? He had the IBF, WBO, WBC, and WBA titles, but due to certain mandatories and him having to, face these mandatories or relinquish his bouts, he decided to relinquish his bouts. But because the world knows this, Josh Taylor was the undisputed and Ring Magazine champion. Teofimo Lopez got a shot to compete for the WBO title and also the Ring Magazine champion, beating Josh Taylor, and now since then has been your WBO Ring Magazine champion in this junior welterweight division. Okay, you look at Shakur Stevenson, beat Joet Gonzalez, right, to become the WBO champion in the featherweight division. Ends up deciding, you know what, I can't make the 125-pound weight class no more. Let's go ahead and go up to 130 pounds. And ends up fighting Jamal Herring, winning the WBO junior lightweight title, and ends up unifying against Oscar Valdez, who at the time, Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson were the two best fighters in the 130-pound weight class, okay? So this fight was not only for Shakur's WBO and Oscar's WBC, but the Ring Magazine title was put on the line in this fight. Shakur Stevenson goes in there, makes it easy work, beats Oscar Valdez, and in his next fight ends up missing weight. So has to relinquish his bouts and decides, you know what, I can't make the 130-pound weight class anymore. I'm moving up to 135. That's where he becomes a 3-division world champion, where he faces Edwin de los Santos for the WBC and has had the WBC title ever since then. Okay, so when you look at who both fighters had fought to win these world titles, you look at Teofimo Lopez, he beat Richard Comey, right, to become the IBF, beat Vasily Lomachenko, moved up and fought Josh Taylor, right? At the time, 2 undisputed world champions. By the time Teofimo Lopez fought them, things were a little different due to the politics in the sport of boxing, okay? When you look at Shakur Stevenson, Joet Gonzalez, right? Oscar Valdez, Jamal Herring, and Edwin de los Santos. You compare fighters and you say who beat who and who was better than who to actually judge who has the better resume. You look at all the other fighters that both fighters have fought. It is a hot, tense argument. And at the end of the day, both fighters are 2 of the best fighters in the world. I know Teofimo Lopez isn't on the pound-for-pound list, but definitely deserves to be in there with somebody, okay? At the end of the day, watching the press conference today, it got me complete excitement. I wonder, and I think to myself, we know Teofimo Lopez is taking this seriously, but is the camp, is Teofimo Lopez Sr. overlooking Shakur Stevenson? Are they underestimating him, thinking Teofimo Lopez, his son, is going to be able to go in there and execute the game plan? Is Shakur Stevenson too confident, thinking that, yes, Teofimo Lopez has beat Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, but he's never beat nobody like me? Is that overconfidence? I do not know, my friends. At the end of the day, I know both of these guys are 2 of the best fighters in the world. You got a guy who's trying to attempt and become a 4-division world champion, and Teofimo Lopez, who's defending his title against one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. The first press conference was absolutely exciting. The face-off between both fighters, I mean, come on, dude. Come on. I am excited for this fight, and I can't wait to see who's going to win this matchup at the end of the day. I thought Teofimo Lopez and his team might have won the press conference, man. They might have won it. I know they were acting fruity. I know they were acting silly. But there's a lot of mind games that are being played here. Shakur Stevenson staying focused, looking ready. I cannot wait for the next press conference coming up, my friends. And it's going to be a long month and a half of waiting until our absolute superior showdown between Shakur Stevenson, the WBC lightweight world champion at 135 pounds, and Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds, the WBO Ring Magazine champion, my friends. My name is Alex Ramos. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. That was our reaction to the press conference, and I'm out.